Hello, everybody. Welcome to the closing, the twilight of 2023. There'll probably be another video between now and New Year, but I'm just saying. There'll probably be a few. But today it's finally
The
near
last
enough to the
video
end of
from
the
East to
year.
the East.
Ever. It's
Yeah.
finally near enough to the end of the year that we can do a recap of this year. I'll be honest, we're recording this actually on the 14th because I felt confident enough going into this that nothing too noteworthy will happen between now and the end of 2023. No big surprises, right? I'm so glad everyone agrees. No shocks. I know
How can we know?
Well, Silent Siren's reunion gig is yet to come up, and I know that's going to be in the dying days of 2023. So I'm going to sort of preemptively say that Silent Siren's reunion gig is my highlight. But the fact that they came back, a lot of love, that's a big highlight for me as well. But let's talk about things that have already happened prior to time of recording. All right, guys, there is so much we can talk about. Shows, music. I'm sure whatever we talk about, we're going to miss a bunch of things. Quick promo. Obviously, I do my awards thing at the end of every year. Benedikt is going to be doing his top 10 albums of the year. And I know that Neon's probably going to have some things coming up. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Neon's going to be producing at the end of the year. I know if he's going to be producing something specifically about it, but there you go, pressure. All right, highlights, guys. What are off the top of your head, things that have really just made 2023 for you?
Well, if I should start with something obvious, but to me, I would just be mean and pick two things. These two albums, the other one by BABYMETAL and Judgment Day by LOVEBITES. Two of my absolutely favorite albums. I don't know, some of the best stuff, best metal I've listened to in a long time. I love these albums. This is probably my highlight of this year.
Neon, and he's trying to win all the fans. He's trying to win all the fans, Neon, quick. He's already got BABYMETAL and LOVEBITES, quick.
I don't think we can compete with that. We're fucked.
Just give him the fucking video. We'll leave now. I mean, everyone knows I'm going to talk about the BAND-MAID 10th anniversary show. For me, one of just the best shows ever. Not usually that I gush about live shows. I love live music, but I always like live music's just the experience, is the way of you bonding with a band. But it's very rare that you get a show like that actually stands out as being more than a show. And it was like an evening with BAND-MAID. It was just such an event. them looking at their own history, playing such a varied set. The acoustic stuff, the piano stuff, the heavy stuff. It was like a showcase. It was like a family. It was amazing, and it was like an emotional moment for them as well. So yeah, now we've covered LOVEBITES, BABYMETAL, and BAND-MAID. Neon.
Just a funny side story. My brother's son was born exactly between the release of these two albums, so I'm expecting a big musical career.
Oh, that is pressure.
That's not pressure.
Yeah.
One of those obscure things that your nephew will realize growing up, and you'll say, "You were born between these two albums."
I gifted them both of those albums, so
you should just want to be a golfer. He won't even like music. He'll just want to play golf. That's what he'll want to do.
At least with BABYMETAL golf balls.
Neon, I set you up for that.
Why golf?
Yes. Oh, he shoots, he scores.
I was just about to say it, and Benedikt got air in front of me. I was like, God damn it.
So let's have some fights for the small man, though. So Neon, I mean, given your reactions, you listen to a huge amount of music, enough that probably it's hard to remember through the sea of music half the stuff you've listened to. But has been anything that really stood out to you this year?
Yeah, loads actually. It's been a really, really good year. Like Benedikt's probably covered the two biggest things. The BAND-MAID 10-year was obviously big as well. Getting the two, shall we say, master collection albums or whatever they're called as well, being re-released was nice, even though they missed out Don't Let Me Down. Still not salty about that at all. How that song never made it on two fucking CDs or whatever their songs, I do not know. For me, it's been a good year for particularly like me personally getting into more like into Korean music. I've been obviously seeing a lot of Rum Kicks, 18 Fevers, a lot of Korean punk. Hoping, fingers crossed, this is obviously happening to next year, but Rolling Quartz are coming in down in London in January.
I wanted to check them out. I got a request for that.
Oh
So,
yeah, they're really
sounded
good.
interesting.
They're really good. They're like that nice blend of like Korean pop of like just really, really unnaturally beautiful looking girls that like just that can play instruments and rock out. Really, really good. Really, really good. But I think seeing everybody's going for the big hitters and leaving me with absolute fuck all. So thank you for that, guys.
There was a long pause after I asked for suggestions.
I'm gonna go with a new band that originated this year, probably through bad outcomes, but I feel like they have the potential to be really, really big, probably in the next year or so, if not already. And that's East to Eden. Really, really enjoyed that band coming in as well, and yeah, looking forward to
seeing from bad sources. Maybe I don't know enough about them.
No, like from bad circumstances. Sorry, probably the right word to say.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's my fault. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. They got a couple of songs. I feel like they got a third song dropping. Actually, we were saying that there's nothing coming out at the end of this year. Now I'm thinking of things that are dropping. We're recording this video too, like at the end of the year. So yeah, they got another song dropping really, really soon as well.
So maybe my question was a bit maybe I wasn't. It wasn't the wording. I just like when you said they were from bad circumstances. Were they like formed from the breakup of another band?
They were formed from breakups of other bands. Yeah, they kind of come together to make a super group, and it's they've really kicked ass, to be honest. It was one of those things that were like all these bands that I kind of listened to, but I never really paid attention to, if that makes sense. Not to the extent of like LOVEBITES or BAND-MAID or anything like that. Unlucky Morpheus again. My kind of go-tos, but they kind of came together to make East to Eden, and I'm really enjoying it. Like technically, like the songwriting is right up, I think, both your alley streets. I think for Benedikt, like it's got that LOVEBITES, Unlucky Morpheus kind of feel
You
to
showed
it.
us one song, I think.
Yeah,
I was going
to say that song was actually really good. I was surprised how much I like that as well.
Yeah, and obviously, like from a songwriting perspective, technically very, very good as well. So they just kind of all came together, and it was one of those surprise kind of things that kind of happen. And I just really, really liked it, which is kind of weird because Japan's kind of notorious for this, I think, a little bit, where they try to make, like, if two groups break up, they kind of like try to stick the remaining band members together to try and make something. And I would say I would say that like a lot of the time that doesn't work, at least not in my experience. It does, like, obviously occasionally that you do get the odd good thing out of it, but most of the time I feel like they're just like, I don't know, hammer what's the right terminology I can use for this, but trying to make something stick, and it just doesn't. But I have really high hopes and expectations for East to Eden. I think they're going to be a name to really look out for the next year, I reckon.
I think sometimes when you get groups who are formed like that, it's because everyone's already from a famous group, so everyone kind of has their own creative voice to bring to it. So it's hard because no one really can take control of the new group. But from at least that one song I heard, I mean, until I kind of found out later about where the violinist is from, I was like, oh, I know the violinist already. And then sort of like piecing together what you just told me there, it just sounds like a group who have like really strong creative vision. Like that song did not sound like a mishmash. It sounded so purposeful. It sounded like, oh yeah, they really got a sound. So yeah,
I didn't even know they were a new group, because to me that sounded like an established sound, like that group existed for years.
Well, the second song came out a while ago. I just did a reaction to it again 2 days ago from recording this, and I'm going to upload it to the channel tomorrow, which is probably, it will be uploaded by the time you're watching this, so go and check it out. And it's really there's the song, I know, look at that promotion. But the second song is like a little bit different, not where I expected them to go, but in the best of ways. Like I love the first song so much that I wanted them to kind of more of that, please. And they kind of go in a slightly different direction, but it's just as good. And I really like it.
Yeah,
I'll
I,
have to
I
check it
think
out.
there's been I think through doing this, because Japanese music scene's growing so much, and obviously all of us have started, even myself with the amount of time I've spent in Japan, we all basically have a certain degree of ignorance towards a lot of the Japanese music that's out there. And I think
Just too much.
every year we're finding new music, but I think this year especially, I felt like this year there was so many new things out there. It really felt like there was just like amazing music everywhere you turned. And I have to now, as we're all like stepping on each other's feet, I have to step on Benedikt's feet, get in ahead of you. Motherfucker!
I knew it.
You son of a bitch! Hey!
Okay, you have the cooler
Yeah.
edition.
Fuck you! I got a special edition. I might have been late, but it's special. Yeah, no, I thought the good on you, by the way. I mean, that shows how predictable I am that you totally fucking beat me to that one. But yeah, I
have that
absolutely
on my guitar.
I absolutely adored that
Nice.
album. Oh, brilliantly. I also wanted to give a little, and for me, I really felt like I said that I think that GACHARIC SPIN have hit their stride. I know we've talked about this a lot on the channel, but just to recap, I really feel that they've hit their stride. They've always been creative. They've always been wonderful musicians, but they really hit their stride. I did want to quickly mention something that I know you guys probably haven't heard of, but I want to mention this for kind of an important reason. So someone recently put me onto this band called the UNCROWNED, and so this album that picked up. Now, this is something that I would really encourage people to go and listen to, because in actuality, this is a posthumously released album. The singer unfortunately passed away, and they're basically a two-piece group, and it was really emotional for everyone. It obviously had a massive effect. And so this album was put together from their recordings and released. So it's actually quite a moving thing and very beautiful. And they were never that big a group, but they obviously had started getting a following before this happened. So I would just ask people, if you're looking for albums from 2023, do check out Stopover by the Uncrowned. I think it's definitely a band. And if you buy their stuff, obviously it goes towards a very good cause there. So I just want to bring that up as well as I was going through my albums.
I think kind of beer as well had a good year.
Oh yeah, true.
Guess what else is here?
Oh motherfucker! Would you just let us? All right, no, I'm gonna let Neon talk about Hannah Beer for God's sake.
Please.
That was actually the one band I actually regret. That was probably the worst thing of my year. Is I had the chance to go and see them, and unfortunately couldn't afford it. I had to. You can blame BABYMETAL for that. I had the choice. I was like, oh, I've seen BABYMETAL this year. I was kind of looking towards Hannah Beer, and then like BABYMETAL literally announced that they were coming back. Like literally later that year, I was like, fuck. I have to choose.
Same for me. I also could have had the chance, but it was like a 5-6 hour drive, and I just couldn't work it out with my work.
It was the same for me. They were in London, and I was like, I just gone to London. I was like, I can't keep going backwards and forwards.
Next year, Rock and Park or download.
Yeah, download. Hopefully. I'm still waiting for some more bands for downloads. I'm still kind of secretly hoping we get like LOVEBITES or whatever. I know
before we
move
on though, I just want to quickly say I had the chance to see GACHARIC SPIN, and it was between GACHARIC SPIN and paying my rent. I've never wanted to be homeless more in my life.
That's the tough choices. I mean, if we're talking about highlights, it's got to be you went to, like I said, you went to the BAND-MAID actual 10th anniversary show, and that's gotta be way cooler than probably anything me and Benedikt have done.
Well, we went to the BABYMETAL World Show, which is also nice.
It's also nice. Nice choice of adjective there.
I'm not sure if it can hold up with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was lucky. Obviously, I was very fortunate to see BAND-MAID twice this year. And, I mean, obviously, I know anyone who sees any of these shows, they're wonderful. But yeah, I will say that 10th anniversary show, until like the 20th or the 25th anniversary comes along, it felt like a once in a lifetime thing. So I must say, I was really happy about that. I will give a quick shout out as well. Obviously, Scandal, although there's been like people have like questioned the validity, I still think that they deserve the award. Whether you believe bands have been around for longer, I still think Scandal have got this. their longest ever running female band with no breaks or hiatuses, always the same lineup. Yeah, they won that award, so we have to give a quick call out. I know it's just a Guinness award and it's just a piece of paper, but credit to Scandal as well for breaking some boundaries there. That was a really cool event this year, I thought.
Yeah, it's, like I said, there's been so many things this year when you kind of look back on it and really think of it. Like looking at artists like Ado. I mean, she broke out pretty much last year, but like again, probably you can probably say she's not just a YouTube sensation anymore, and just pretty much like broke out to mainstream. She's everywhere now, which is really weird when you think about it. Because if we were having this conversation last year, you could say, "Oh, I would say the same thing I just said about East to Eden." Like I would have said, "Oh, I think she'll really break out," 2023, and that's exactly what she's done. She's freaking everywhere. So yeah,
you were the first YouTuber who I saw like pick up on her. Like when you first started talking about her, even I didn't know who she was, and now she's literally everywhere. You can't live in Japan without knowing about her.
I tell you what, that's one of the greatest feelings about doing what we do, picking up bands before anybody else knows who they are, and then like they become like insanely fucking popular, and you're just like, hey man, I was listening to them way before. Like you shouldn't use that as like a bragging thing, but fuck me,
You still have to make them a bit bigger, Howard.
Yeah,
I still, yeah, I think, yeah, sorry, just not to hijack the point or anything, but I feel like Neon's making a very good point about the fact that we get to hear these bands before a lot of people, and for me, a big part of this year has been transitioning to looking at a lot of unsigned bands. And of course, the two who I want to talk about, assuming I'm not jumping too far ahead here, is obviously Dadadams, and also big love for Caramel Candid, who have just been amazing. So many unsigned bands I've spoken about and had the chance to interview, see live at like little live houses and stuff. And so, yeah, I've been really blown away. And my thanks as well, actually, to both these guys for helping with the promotion of Dadadams. And it's a hard road, but we're getting there. And yeah, it's so cool seeing all the artists who are coming out in Japan, unsigned, signed, big, small. It's amazing.
Yeah, like I said, we got bands like Glim Spanky, and I want a big shout out to 18 Fevers as well, just because I'm in the music video for that one, so go and check that out. That's been my highlight of this year. Like officially in my first ever music video, I was like, yeah,
that was so cool. That was so cool. We were freeze framing that, and that moment, it was like, I know him. It was epic, man. That was
so
really
I could die happy just for that moment alone.
Oh man, yeah, no, that was really cool. I've been trying to get like a music video off the ground for like the last 2 years, and it's like, and then like just Neon's like, yep, I fucking did one. I'm like, shit. But yeah, no, that was like, yeah, that was really cool. And like again, like bands like 18 Fevers are Korean, right?
They're they're Korean. I really love their story as well. Like Christmas, who is the lead singer for that, she's amazing. She's really, really nice. And when I spoke to her, I went to go and see them, and she was having a drink, and I literally just went, oh hey, and we ended up having like literally like almost like a hour and a half conversation, just me and her. It was kind of like surreal, and I got to talk to Rum Kicks and the girls there as well. It was just a really, really nice day. It was definitely one of the highlights of my year, just in general, just to be able to chill out and talk with the bands and stuff, which was pretty cool.
Your video about that was really cool as well. There's a video on your channel where I think yeah, because you got to do the one interview, and unfortunately you were a bit pressed for time, but that was a really cool video as well, like seeing you at the gig. And it was really cool as well seeing the atmosphere of like this sort of like Korean punk show in the UK, and like the whole atmosphere around there was really cool, just sort of seeing how the people around you and everyone responded to it. I think that's the show that ended up feeding a lot of the footage for the music video, including some of your footage. Oh man, they wouldn't be punks if they didn't know how to lift up footage. They're like, hey, that's good. I'm gonna use that.
I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more happier, to be fair. Like I really like that. So like I said, just to be in it, like I cannot prove that some of those shots are mine. But if you look at my video and then you look at their music video, it's Pretty
Yeah.
obvious.
It's all AI.
It's AI.
But,
Make a
yeah.
music video that looks like Neon Reaper made it. It's like, why?
I'll take credit for that. So it's basically I can turn around and say I started a music video and directed a video as well.
Yes.
My credits are added up.
Mm-hmm.
Assistant director and star of 18 Fever's music video.
Yeah, I know, but no, to be honest with you, I like it was awesome, and I feel massively blessed for that. So that was a highlight this year for sure.
Yeah, I do think that we've been like very lucky with a lot of the music that's come out, that there's been such a range of, like we said, the big and the small bands. But yeah, I think as well, it's interesting like doing these videos with you guys where we had like the song suggestions. You guys have like fed me some songs during those where I've just been like, whoa, what the fuck is this? And like, some weird stuff. Like I still like, I was giggling about the fact that was it Jillica? Like that insanely heavy band that you brought in, Neon. I was like, yeah, I was like, this actually isn't too bad. So I was really shocked, like, it's all right.
there's some really good ones. I'm still like where your personal battle trying to advertise your small bands. I'm still like personally trying to advertise like KIZU to any fucking son of a bitch that will listen to them, because I really fucking love that band.
I noticed.
That's like my one band this year. I'm like, yes, come on, listen to them, please.
They were K in our band alphabet, weren't they? I think you got them in as K. Yeah,
I did. Like shameless promotion for a band that like I don't give a shit. Deal with it.
Oh, yeah. That's what it's for. Yeah, that's what it's for. Go for it. Yeah, I like that.
I tried to include them on my channel, but nobody voted for them.
They're relatively unknown, and let's be honest with it, the people that watch our channel are very much like the bands of the feminine persuasion.
I will say though, actually, that I was slightly misled, because when you showed us that music video, which I've seen like a few times now, it was so professionally made that I just kind of assumed, oh, this must be like a really popular metal band who I just haven't heard of. And then it was like, actually, no, they're not that well known. I was like, oh, actually, shit, the video was like pretty like high production value for a group who are, on the supposedly lower tier of fame. So yeah, I mean, credit to them. Like, even if it wasn't necessarily my type of music, like I respect any band where you can just look at it and go, shit, the effort's going into this. There's effort, and there's a real feeling that this is a band who care about what they're putting out into the world, and they're genuinely trying to create something that they want to have impact. So yeah, I approve this band who are too heavy for me. Whose name I'm probably saying wrong. I'm going to give a shout out, as her album came out today. Although it's past midnight now in Japan, but still, as her album technically came out on the day that we started recording this, credit to Ano as well. I discovered Ano this year. I know she's been like dabbling and releasing music as a solo artist since 2020, but it really became serious this year, like in a post-band career. And obviously she's actually got a punk band that she sings and plays guitar for, but finally released her solo album, which I just think was like such an eclectic selection of high personality, high concept, mixed up songs, real emotional, pop with emotional depth, but also catchy choruses as well to boot. Just one of the most interesting like artists to hit the pop scene. For anyone who's like issue with pop, which I can understand, is that some of it feels produced, manufactured, and some of it doesn't feel deep enough. I'd say Ano is your go-to artist if you want to find music that has like a little bit more, it's pop, but it has some intensity and some depth to it. And so, yeah, her like debut album, just really, really, really cool. So
does it include new songs, or is it just the collection of her past songs?
I was really intrigued actually, because I was kind of, in a way, if it had been just a collection of her singles that she'd released up to that point, I'd have been like, okay, this is a collection of great songs, but it's not really an album. But actually, it was done in a really cool way, which is, you could tell like the last couple of singles she's released were clearly recorded with an album in mind. So as a result, the debut album is actually 2 discs. The first disc is obviously the album as it was intended to be. It's got a couple of songs that came out this year, which were clearly written, and a bunch of songs that you can clearly tell this album was written as an album. And then the second disc is just like, okay, we know she's been sporadically releasing singles, so here's just those singles that you already know are her songs, but they didn't come from an album. They're on a disc 2. So you can buy it, and then disc 2 will be like, well, these are the singles she's already had, but disc 1 is actually obviously the debut album as it was supposed to be as an album. And I really love that. I think that's a beautiful way of approaching it. You know, it still is an album, but yeah, you got access to all those banger singles that came out before. So yeah, awesome.
Absolutely. Well, I can maybe give another shout out to something probably not a lot of people know, which is called Mirabi Frame.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they approached a lot of people on YouTube because I saw quite a lot of reactions to some of their songs. But I really enjoyed what I heard. Kind of gave me a bit of a baby metal vibe in a way. It's a unique combination, but I really enjoyed that song. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Mirabi Frame. Check it out.
What kind of what's it like? I mean, if we're going to sell people, myself included.
Yeah, you know, I would still call it metal, but it was done in a very like calm and soothing way, especially because they have really like a cute and yeah, I'm not really sure if you could call it cute, but a very soothing vocalist. And yeah, absolutely love
This is
that
making me think of your love for Starlight by Baby.
Yeah, it's kind of in that vein.
Yeah,
So
okay, that's kind
probably
of
why
what
I
I
love
was
it so
thinking.
much.
Yeah. So that's sort of, it's metal, but at the same time, it's just like it sort of sweeps you away on these beautiful melodic journeys.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
All right,
if you
okay.
like Starlight,
let's
check it
let's put us all into the put the pressure on, I think, and cause some arguments
Oh,
in the comments. What's everybody's favorite album of the year?
Oh shit, here we go.
to me, that's easy.
I don't know which one is gonna. Yeah, I should have guessed. You're going with that.
Yeah, of course.
And we should point out the reforming of Baby Metal and the adding of Momoko. We didn't even talk about that because it was so early, but those are massive events from this year as well. It's difficult because when you listen to so many different genres, it's hard to pick one. Give me a second. I'm running this through in my brain.
So Neon, do you have a choice?
I do. There's one clear winner for me. It came out really, really early this year, but there's just been nothing for me that's personally topped it.
Go on.
It was like it was 50-50. Then as soon as he reached to the left, I was like, he's either going to pick a 50-50 choice of what's mine.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he picks the other.
I'm going to hide it so it shows I'm not biased. I'm hiding it so people know I'm not cheating.
But for me, it's LOVEBITES Judgment Day. That came out so early this year, and it's the album I just keep going back to. Personally,
It's my number 2.
I think as well the addition of Fami. It's just like really, really strong album. I just think Fami's been so great. We were talking before about how difficult it is sometimes when you have new members in groups.
yeah.
But like Fami, I think she was just the perfect choice, and I think the whole process of how they picked her and everything was brilliant, and it resulted in a great album. Okay, so
I'm really fascinated by Judgment Day as an album because, you know, I always loved LOVEBITES and individual songs. They're all great, but as a whole album, before most of their albums, just when I listened to them, they were really exhausting to me. And I like had to struggle at the end just to get through it because it's just relentless, you know? But Judgment Day, it's kind of the same, feels even more energetic in parts, but it doesn't have this exhausting effect on me. I don't know how it is for you.
Variation though, doesn't it? Like it's as an album, it's got more variation to it.
But I don't know, you know, some of their older songs, they have the same kind of variation, I would say.
For me, it felt like it had more tricks up its sleeve than the previous stuff. I'm not as familiar with the LOVEBITES discography as everyone, but I've
you know,
listened
it
to all
doesn't
the
feel
albums.
necessarily different in their music, but enough has changed to have a significantly different effect on me.
A development of the pre-existing formula, I think, would be look at it. So I'm going to answer the question quickly. It's so many. I mean, I want to say the Ano one, but like I say, the Ano one's been like is winning off of the fact that it has that second disc, and there's like so many things that bias. So I don't know if it's just because it's looking at me, but I kind of can't help it. This is such a good album. I haven't released my review of it yet, but you know, it has its ups and downs. It's not perfect, but it just, for me, it's a band who had so much potential. Just the fact that it just feels like the potential is all coming out here. It's an album that is like furiously ambitious. It does something with the ambition. It does something with the talent on hand. And it, you know, it's not perfect, but it's damn good. And it definitely stands up to repeat listening.
And
But I will
it
give
really
a full
feels
review
like
on
an
that.
upgrade to the last album. I mean, that's great as well, the self-titled one. But I feel W, it's just better in every aspect.
The last 3 albums, like I said, Gold Rush, I was not a big fan of. I think it's messy. I don't
I
really
haven't
like it
heard
very
that one.
much. It just didn't work for me. It was like it was like potential, but none of it was clicking. Then the Self-Entitled album was great, but it was one of those ones that made me go, I like this band, rather than, oh my God, this is insane. It was just like, I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this. I can listen to this. But like W, it's just so damn good. Like so much quality oozing out of every single pore. So I'm sure someone's going to remind me of an album and make me go, oh shit, I should have thought of that as well.
Yeah,
But,
probably. Most definitely. It's been a good year this
Yeah,
year.
most definitely.
But by the way, I am going to point out, I am aware of Dream Up coming out, but it's a mini album. That's my excuse to get around that one. Smart asses. And shout
We
out
can
to
also use EPs. Wait, I have to check if it actually released this year.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. I can't.
Oh, we're going
can't-
down a fucking dark hole here if we start doing that.
Yeah, it's going to get dangerous.
Well,
Even
it's something I
Neon's
would like to
scared now.
mention,
Even
but I will
Neon's scared.
check.
I will actually point out as well, I only had a first listen to it today, but listening to the new Chili Beans album, Welcome to My Castle, sounds pretty good. I'm really kind of happy about that. And I hope that Silent Siren are going to surprise us with at least a single, but who knows, they might surprise us with an album very soon, but I think that'll be in 2024. I think we're going to have a lot of things coming up like Scandal, Silent Siren, a bunch of bands going to have material for us in 2024, but we're not talking about that yet, so I should shut up. I'm on the tangent. But yeah, there's been a lot of stuff come out this year, and I'm really looking forward actually to seeing. I'm just always looking at my poster wall to see.
I wanted to mention something Howard would absolutely love. Broken by the Scream, Whitewater Park, their new EP. I think it's the best music they did so far. Unfortunately, I think they will disband somehow.
You're right.
Very shortly.
Passcode did have a great album this year.
Not Passcode.
Passcode are great.
Broken
Well
by
mentioned.
the Scream.
Yeah, Passcode are amazing.
Anyway, I think it's the best release they ever did, even though it's just an EP. Just sounds more coherent than before.
I should give that a listen, in all fairness. I was kind of intrigued by the track you played me recently. It wasn't my thing, but I
it is
saw
one
more
of that.
than I'd seen previously. Yeah, I saw more in that than because before I just really struggled with their music. But the one you played me, although it wasn't my thing, there were moments in that where I was like, that's pretty good actually. There was like little bits that were clicking for me. So maybe they'll finally win me over. There was a lot of stuff that came out earlier this year where I'm trying to work out whether it did come out this year or not. Like, we should talk, I mean, BiSH as well. Obviously, BiSH's disbandment was this year. That was a massive thing. And yeah, their final album actually dropped, well, their final like release and everything was this year. So, I mean, that plethora of amazing songs they were releasing over the last 12 months of their like release run was just incredible. Some people have said, oh, you know, they did better stuff. But for me, they ended with like just a career high. They've had beautiful songs throughout their career, but that last run of songs, there were some songs in there I didn't particularly like, but there were just so many amazing songs in that last run. And for me, that was a band ending on a high. Yeah, I really loved that last batch of songs that BiSH put out. Even if they did finish with their final song and then release like 3 or 4 more songs afterwards, completely and utterly ruining the fucking drama. But still, thanks, Whack. But still, that was great. Bye Bye Show did grow on me, even though still I don't think it's as good as the original last song, but still, you know, yeah, no. So BiSH, that's back in the summer, but what a great conclusion that was as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to mention anything else, maybe a final question. Was there something that you thought or expected to come out this year that did not?
I think this year was more things that I expected that I was just happy happened, like BABYMETAL's return and the addition of Momoko. Because I kind of like you felt it was going to happen, but just so relieved when it did. Like Silent Siren, I didn't expect them to come back, and I was just really happy when it did. I think it was more a case of things that I had an inkling of happening, or things I had no suspicion of happening, and being like, "Whoa, yes," rather than anything that I wanted Or maybe it's just because whatever I wanted, I now didn't get, and therefore I'm over it. But yeah, I can only think of the good surprises. This year was full of good surprises for me, and
it was a good
potential
year.
fulfilled.
Yeah, I can't say anything I expected to happen. For me, it's just mostly comes down to tour dates. I'm just extremely still pissed off that most Japanese bands are unfortunately unable to get to Europe. And at the minute, this year seems to be the year where everybody seems to be trying to crack the US more and more and more.
Come on, BAND-MAID.
I know, and kind of ignoring Europe a little bit at the minute.
Yeah.
So apart from that one thing that I expected more European tours to happen, which currently haven't, but I'm still holding. I'm holding out hope for 2024. So that's, and then if BAND-MAID still doesn't come in 2024, then I fucking riot.
Well, we've done a video about that, so I'm not going to get into that again. But and I know there's like people who commented before, so well, yeah, they're not coming because there's a war in like Ukraine. I'm like, if that's the reason you think not, then it's like saying, oh, they're not going to Wisconsin because of the Mexican drug cartels. It's like that's not. It's a big continent. So yeah, I understand why they're going to the US. We did a whole video about that. I really love that they're cracking the US, but I really think show some love for the European fans. Loads of people love BAND-MAID in Europe. Go just do a couple of shows. Come on for them. But there you go. That's my feelings. I think BAND-MAID should be international, and I agree with Neon. I think we should just see, honestly, all these bands. I think 2023 has been the big year of post-COVID. I think a lot of 20 to 2022. 2020 to 2022, we were talking a lot about, bands not being able to do things. 2023 is the year when all the bands were like, all right, let's get to it. Yeah.
I think 2024 is going to be huge as well. I mean, look at what we've got. Obviously, we're expecting BABYMETAL to have a new album with Momoko on it. I reckon that will be 2024. We've got a new BAND-MAID album coming out 2024. I am seeing Unlucky Morpheus didn't release like anything in 2023. I fully expect Unlucky Morpheus to be kicking it up in 2024 as well. Yeah. So I think 2024 is
Nemophila dropped a new song already. That's
So that's 2024 is going to be the year, I think, as well.
Scandal are in the studio already. They got a new album almost certainly coming. I'm predicting
Silent Siren, hopefully album 2024.
Thank you, Neon.
Just do it for
I'm not going to say anything because I'll curse it if I say it, but Neon said it, so please.
So got plenty of things to look forward to. Let us know in the comments down below what you guys thinking. What's been your standout for this year? There's probably loads of bands and artists we've probably missed, so let us know down below. And also anything obviously in 2024 that you're looking forward to, and what your particular highlight of this year has been, and your standout bands and members and girls and groups and orgies or whatever it is you kids are into these days. Let us know in the comments down below.
Please don't let us know about your standout orgies. I don't want to know about your standout orgies.
He does. He does.
DM me. I don't want to know about. Shit, we got a minute until Zoom kicks us.
He says he doesn't want to know, but that's what he keeps going on about, kids.
I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna have my email address flash up at the bottom of the screen.
Phone me for a good time. How do you think Howard makes his rent?
Shit, that's a good idea. No one's buying that. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Looking forward to hearing your comments, your highlights, and being surprised by shit coming out in the last 2 weeks of this year that we didn't expect. And until we see you for more videos and for 2024 and whatever else we're doing, remember to keep your ears to the east. Why am I pulling this face?